Hello and welcome back to NEET Prep Go. So we'll start from where we had left, that is phylum Porifera. So phylum Porifera, members of this phylum are commonly known as sponges. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. So they are asymmetrical, we had studied last time, that is no matter or whichever plane you in any plane you pass through the center of their body, it won't divide them into two equal halves, therefore they are asymmetrical. Members of this phylum, they are commonly known as sponges. They are also called as pore bearers. Why? Because they have pores. Then they are generally marine. They are primitive and multicellular animals, and they have cellular level of organization. They are multicellular, but they have cellular level of organization, that is cells present in the form of loose aggregates. They have a water transport or water canal system. Water vascular system is present in echinodermata. Over here, water transport or water canal system is present. How does the canal system, water transport or water canal system work? That is, the water enters through minute pores which are called as ostia, which are present in the body, and from the pores the water enters into a central cavity. This central cavity is called as spongiocele, from where it goes out through the osculum opening. So uh, this pathway of water transport is helpful for food gathering, respiratory exchange, and removal of waste. This water gathering is important for respiration, it is important for food gathering, and for excretion. So your food gathering as well as respiration as well as excretion, all three things are done by important essential processes are done by the water transport or water canal system in poriferans. Now choanocytes, they line the also called as collar cells, they line the spongiocele and the canals. So the collar cells or choanocytes, that is choanocytes or collar cells, they line the spongiocele, that is the central cavity. Digestion is intracellular, that is inside the cell. The body is supported by a skeleton, and this skeleton is made up of spicules or spongin fibers. Sexes are not separate, that is hermaphrodite. Eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. Hermaphrodite, both male and female sex organs are present. Sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by the formation of gametes. The fertilization in sponges is internal, development is indirect. How? Because they have a larval stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. What are the three main examples? Cycon, Euspongia, and Spongilla. Out of this, Spongilla is a freshwater sponge. Cycon, another name is Saifa, and Euspongia is also called as bath sponge. Then we come to Coelenterata. That is, Coelenterata are Coelenterata are exclusively, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming. They are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming. They are radially symmetrical animals. They are Cnidaria or Coelenterata. The name Cnidaria is derived from nidoblast or nidocytes, which contain stinging capsule or nematocytes. Nidoblasts or nidocytes, which contain stinging capsule called as nematocytes, which are present in the tentacles and the body. Nidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, and capture of prey. Nidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, as well as capture of prey. In Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization and they are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening, mouth on hypostome. Digestion is Digestion is extracellular as well as intracellular. Some of the cnidarians, example corals, have a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms. That is polyp and medusa. Former polyp is sessile and cylindrical form like Hydra, Adamsia, whereas the latter is umbrella shaped and free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarians which exhibit both forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is metagenesis. That is, polyps produce medusae asexually and medusa produce polyps sexually. For example, that is Obelia. Physalia, Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, sea anemone, Penatula, sea pen, Gorgonia, sea fan, Meandrina, brain coral. Examples of Coelenterata indicating outline of their body form. This is a medusa. Example, Aurelia. And this is polyp. In Obelia, both happens. Metagenesis takes place. Polyp. Example, Adamsia. So Coelenterata, also called as Cnidaria, they are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming, that is at one place, or they can also be free swimming. They are radially symmetrical animals. In any plane, if you pass through, then you will get through the central axis, then you will get two equal halves. They have nidoblast or nidocytes. They have nidoblast or nidocytes, which contain stinging capsules or nematocytes present on the tentacles and the body. They have nidoblast or nidocytes, which contain the stinging capsules or nematocytes and present on the tentacles and the body. Nidoblasts are used for anchorage, catching of prey, and defense. Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization. So Porifera exhibited cellular level of organization. Cnidaria or Coelenterata, they exhibit tissue level of organization. They are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity, which is important feature, and they have a single opening, that is single opening. So incomplete digestive system. Mouth on hypostome. Digestion can be extracellular as well as intracellular. The cnidarians, some of the cnidarians, example corals, they have a skeleton which is composed of calcium carbonate. Then cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms. First is polyp, second is medusa. Polyp is sessile, that is can't move, non-motile, stuck at one place, and it is cylindrical. Example are Hydra and Adamsia, whereas latter Medusa is umbrella shaped, and it is free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. These cnidarians, which exhibit both forms, exhibit alternation of generation. Example is Obelia, that is polyps produce medusa asexually and medusa form polyps sexually. So medusa forms polyp asexually, and medusa forms polyp asexually, and polyp forms medusa sexually. Example is Obelia. What are the examples of Coelenterata or Cnidaria? That is Physalia. Physalia is also called as Portuguese man of war. Adamsia, which is also called as sea anemone. Then Penatula, which is called as sea pen. Gorgonia, which is called as sea fan. Meandrina, called as brain coral. Phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophora are commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. They are exclusively marine. They are radially symmetrical, exclusively marine, that is no ctenophore is freshwater. All of them are exclusively marine. Radially symmetrical, if you pass any plane, then you'll through the central axis, then you will get two equal halves. Diploblastic organisms, that is only ectoderm and endoderm is present with a mesoglia, undifferentiated mesoglia in between, just like Coelenterata or Cnidaria, and they exhibit tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates which help in locomotion. So the body has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates, and these comb plates, they help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence is a property of living organism to emit light, which is shown by Ctenophora. Sexes are not separate, that is hermaphrodite. and reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external and development is indirect. So no asexual reproduction. Fertilization is external, development is indirect. Example, pleurobrachia and tenoplana. Pleurobrachia and tenoplana. Both are ctenophores. This is an example of pleurobrachia. Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes have dorso-ventrally flattened body. That's why they are called as platyhelminthes. That is flatworm, which means flatworms. They are dorso-ventrally flat. ऊपर से भी नीचे से भी. They are mostly endoparasites. They are found in animals, including human beings. Endoparasites, that is, feed on the host body and use the host mechanism, that is parasitic nature, for nutrition, and endo inside the body of the host. Ecto, such as cuscuta and that plant, it was an ectoparasite. Then leech is also an ectoparasite. It is outside the tick and all. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical. So platyhelminthes is bilaterally symmetrical. Platyhelminthes still hemichordata except for adult echinoderms, all are bilaterally symmetrical. Then triploblastic, till from platyhelminthes till hemichordata, all are triploblastic. They have ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. They are acoelomate, that is, they do not have a body cavity. And they have organ level of organization. So till now there was cellular in Porifera, then Cnidaria and Cnidaria coelenterata, and Ctenophora. That is, these two had tissue level of organization. From platyhelminthes, organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. So which one sucks directly nutrients from the body surface? Tapeworm. So tapeworm, tinea or tapeworm, it directly absorbs nutrients from the body surface. I already knew, but I was still confused. Nutrients through their body surface, through its body surface. Sexes are not separate. Again, hermaphrodite. Fertilization is internal, development is through many larval stages, so development is indirect. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. Example is tinea tapeworm and fasciola liver fluke. Also you can take liver fluke and I think blood fluke. Then Aschalminthus. Body of Aschalminthus is circular in cross section, therefore they are called as Aschalminthus, that is circular in cross section. If you cut the body, then you'll see it is circular in cross section. The name roundworms. They may be free-living, aquatic, and terrestrial or parasitic in plants and animals. Roundworms have organ system level of organization. So from here, organ system level of organization starts from Ascalminthus till Hemichordata. They are bilaterally symmetrical, they are triploblastic, and they are pseudocoelomates. They are the only phylum which are pseudocoelomates. Only phylum which are pseudocoelomates. That is, their mesoderm is present in patches. Alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. So they have complete digestive system. Again, the first one to have a complete digestive system. Well-developed muscular pharynx. Excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through excretory pores. Sexes are separate, that is, it is dioecious. Males and females are distinct. Often females are longer than males. That is, it shows sexual dimorphism. You can distinguish between male and female, and sexes are separate. It is not hermaphrodite. Fertilization is internal and development may be direct. Young ones resemble the adult or indirect. Ascaris roundworm, it causes ascariasis. Then Wuchereria bancrofti filarial worm, which causes filariasis or elephantiasis, and encyclostoma, which is a hookworm. Then phylum Annelida. Annelida, that is segmented. They may be aquatic, marine and freshwater, or terrestrial, free-living, sometimes parasitic, exhibit organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetry, triploblastic. They are metamerically segmented and coelomate. They are the first true coelomates or eucoelomates. That is, they have a true coelom, body cavity. Their body surface is distinctly marked out into segments or metameres. Why metamerically segmented? That is, segmented, and in each segment a few organs repeat. Phylum name Annelida, annulus, little ring. Annulus, in Latin, annulus means little ring. This may be asked. Annelida, Latin, annulus, little ring. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which help in locomotion. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which help in locomotion. Aquatic annelids like Nereis possess lateral appendages called as parapodia which help in swimming. So Nereis has parapodia which helps in swimming. Then a closed circulatory system is present. So they are also the first ones which have a closed circulatory system. Before, the circulatory system was not there only. They have a closed circulatory system. Then they have nephridia which help in osmoregulation and excretion. In platyhelminthes, flame cells are there to help in osmoregulation and excretion. See, flame cells are there to help in osmoregulation and excretion. Over here, nephridia are there. Then neural system consists of paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. So the neural system contains paired ganglia connected to lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Nereis, an aquatic form, is dioecious, whereas earthworm and leeches are monoecious. Reproduction is sexual. So Nereis is dioecious, that is, male and female separate, sexes are separate, but earthworm and leeches are monoecious or hermaphrodite. Nereis, ferretima, that is earthworm, and Hirudinaria, that is blood-sucking leech. Now phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum. Second largest is Mollusca. It includes insects. Over 2/3 of all named species on earth are arthropod. They have organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented. They are externally segmented. They are only externally segmented, not metamerically segmented. They are only externally segmented, and they are coelomate animals. The body of arthropod is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. They have jointed appendages. Arthros means joint, poda means appendages. Therefore, arthropoda respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, or tracheal system. Circulatory system is of open type. Sensory organs like antenna, compound and simple eyes, statocyst, balance organs are present. So, simple eye, which is not used, that is a vestigial. In compound eye, which has mosaic, shows mosaic vision, which we'll learn in cockroach in detail. In cockroach, excretion takes place through malphigian tubules and they are mostly dioecious. Then that is not not hermaphrodite, that is sexes are separate, and excretion is through malphigian tubules. Fertilization is internal, oviparous. Development can be direct or indirect. Then example economically important are apis, honeybee, bombyx, silkworm and lacifer lac insect. Then vectors are Anopheles mosquito causes malaria, Culex mosquito, Aedes mosquito causes dengue, Culex mosquito, I think chikungunya or something like that. Gregarious pest, locust. Living fossil is limulus or king crab. Locust, butterfly, scorpion and prawn. Then phylum Mollusca is the second largest animal phylum. They are terrestrial or aquatic, that is marine or freshwater. They have an organ system level of organization. Bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate. Body is covered by a calcareous shell and it is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot and visceral hump. They do not show segmentation. They are unsegmented. Their body is covered by a calcareous shell with a distinct head, a muscular foot and a visceral hump. A soft spongy layer of skin forms a mantle over the visceral hump. So a soft spongy layer of skin forms a mantle over the visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mantle, between the visceral hump and the mantle, this space is called the mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. So between the visceral hump and the mantle, which is a soft spongy skin over the visceral hump, there is a space, and this space is called as mantle cavity. In this mantle cavity, feather-like gills are present. Feather-like gills are present. They have respiratory and excretory functions. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. These feather-like gills, they have respiratory and excretory function. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The anterior head region, it has sensory tentacles. The mouth contains a file-like rasping organ which is called as radula. Mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding, which is called as radula. They are usually dioecious and oviparous with indirect development. Example: Pila, apple snail, pinctada, pearl oyster, sepia, cuttlefish, loligo squid, octopus, devilfish, aplysia, sea hare, dantalium tusk shell, and Chytopleura, chiton. Phylum Echinodermata. Echinodermata have an endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles and hence the name Echinodermata, which means spiny bodied. They are all marine. They all have organ system level of exclusively marine. So first exclusively marine was Ctenophora. This is second exclusively marine. With organ system level of organization, adult echinoderms are laterally symmetrical, but the larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic, coelomate, digestive system complete, Mouth is on the lower ventral side and anus is on the upper dorsal side. So it's going to be opposite, that is on the upper dorsal side, anus is going to be there, and on the lower ventral side, the mouth is there. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is the presence of water vascular system. So they do not have circulatory system or excretory system. This water vascular system helps them in locomotion, that is moving here and there, capturing the prey as well as transporting of the food, that is capturing of food and transportation of food, and respiration. Excretory system therefore is absent. The sexes are separate, that is dioecious. Reproduction is only sexual, no asexual reproduction. In Echinodermata, no asexual reproduction. There was another phylum in which there was no asexual reproduction. That was Ctenophora. In Ctenophora also, so Ctenophora is also exclusively marine. Echinodermata is also exclusively marine. Ctenophora also the asexual reproduction is absent, and in Echinodermata also asexual reproduction is absent. So Ctenophora and Echinodermata, both of them are exclusively marine, and in both of them there is only sexual reproduction. Excuse me. Fertilization is usually external. Development is indirect with free-swimming larvae. Fertilization is external. Example, Asterias, which means which is starfish, Echinus, that is sea urchin, Antidon, sea lily, Cucumeria, sea cucumber, and Ophiuria, brittle star. Echinus, sea urchin, Antidon, sea lily, Cucumeria, sea cucumber, Ophiura, brittle star. Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordata was earlier considered as a subphylum under the phylum Chordata, but now it is placed in a separate phylum under non-Chordata. It consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals. This is also exclusively marine, with organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. So this phylum consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate. Body is cylindrical and it is composed of anterior proboscis, collar, and a long trunk. The body is cylindrical. It consists of an anterior proboscis, that is in the anterior end proboscis, a collar, and a long trunk. Circulatory system is of open type, open circulatory system. So open circulatory system is present in Arthropoda and Hemichordata, whereas closed circulatory system is present in Annelida and Mollusca. Respiration takes place through gills. Respiration is through gills. Circulatory system is of open type. Excretory organ is the proboscis gland. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. Example is Balanoglossus and Sarcoglossus. Now phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord and a dorsal hollow nerve cord, paired pharyngeal slits. So a dorsal, till now there was ventral double nerve cord in Arthropoda as well as in annelida, that is double ventral nerve cord. Now we have a dorsal nerve cord which is hollow, and a notochord and paired pharyngeal slit. Notochord is mesodermally derived. These are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic coelomate organ system level of organization, possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Salient features of chordata characteristic: notochord, dorsal nerve cord, a hollow dorsal nerve cord, post-anal tail, and pharyngeal gill slits. In chordates, notochord is present. In non-chordates, notochord is absent. In chordates, the central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single, whereas in non-chordate, central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double. Pharynx is perforated by gill slits in chordates. Gill slits are absent in non-chordates. Heart is ventrally present in chordates, whereas in non-chordates it is dorsal if it is present. For example, in arthropoda. Post-anal part tail is present, post-anal tail is absent in non-chordates. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylums: Urochordata Urochordata, also called as Tunicata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. So Chordata is a phylum. It is divided into three subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Urochordata is also called as Tunicata. Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates. Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. So Urochordata or Tunicata is exclusively marine, and Cephalochordata is also exclusively marine. Together they are called as protochordates. In Urochordata, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is present throughout their life. In Urochordata it is only present in larval tail, that is, notochord is only present in larval tail, whereas in Cephalochordata notochord is present from head to tail and is persistent throughout their life. So in Urochordata or Tunicata, the notochord is only present in the larval stage, and that too only in the tail, whereas in Cephalochordata the notochord is present from the head till the tail region, and it is present throughout the life of the cephalochordates. Urochordata example is Acidia and Salpa, and Doliolum, and Cephalochordata example is Branchiostoma, also called as Amphiochus or Lancelet. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So in vertebrata, the notochord is present during their embryonic period, but after that it gets replaced by a vertebral bony, cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. Cartilaginous bony vertebral column, and thus all vertebrates are chordates, but all the chordates are not vertebrates, because vertebral column is only present in vertebrata subphyla. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart, ventral with 2, 3 or 4 chambers, kidney for excretion and osmoregulation, paired appendages which can be fins or limbs. So So vertebrata further is divided into agnatha, which lacks jaws, and gnathostomata, which bears jaws. Agnatha has the class cyclostomata, which lack jaw. Gnathostomata bear jaw, and they have a superclass, that is Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces which bear fins, and Tetrapoda which bear limbs. So further vertebrata can be divided into agnatha and gnathostomata. Agnatha, it lacks jaws. Gnathostomata has bears jaws. Agnatha has class cyclostomata, and Gnathostomata, which bears jaws, has Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces, they bear fin, and in that Pisces superclass there are class chondricetes and osteocetes. In Tetrapoda, the class Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia are there. Tetrapoda superclass. Firstly, class Cyclostomata, which come under Agnatha, not Gnathostomata, Agnatha, that is they lack jaw. So all living members of the class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. So all the living members of the class Cyclostomata, they are all ectoparasites on some fishes. They are all ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits used or required for respiration. Cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Their body is devoid of scales and paired wings. Cyclostomes, they have a sucking and circular mouth without any jaws because they are jawless agnatha. They have a sucking and circular mouth. Their body is devoid of scale, do not have any scales, and paired fins, do not have any fins also. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of closed type. They are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning, within a few days they die. Their larvae, after metamorphosis, returns to the ocean. So cyclostomes are marine but they migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning, within a few days, the cyclostomata, they die, and their larva, after undergoing metamorphosis, they return to the ocean. Example is lamprey, petromyzin and myxine, that is hagfish. Then comes class Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes are marine animals with streamlined body. They have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout their life. Gill slits are separate and without any operculum or gill cover. Skin is tough, containing minute plecoid scales. Teeth are modified plecoid scales, backwardly directed. After chondrichthyes, you should revise, I guess, once. Chondrichthyes are marine animals with streamlined body. They have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout their life. They have a notochord which is persistent throughout their life. Then gill slits are separate and without any operculum or gill cover. The skin is tough, containing minute plecoid scales. Teeth are modified plecoid scales which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. So now we come to class chondrichthyes, which comes under the which comes under firstly the division Gnathostomata, that is bare jaws, and then Gnathostomata, that is, and then under the superclass Pisces, chondrichthyes and osteocetes. Now, chondrocetes are marine animals with streamlined body. They have a streamlined body, cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout their life. That is, the notochord is persistent throughout their life. The gill slits are separate and they are without any operculum or gill cover. Skin is tough and contains minute placoid scales. Teeth are modified placoid scales, backwardly directed. Jaws are very powerful. They are predaceous, that is predate, and due to absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. They do not have air bladder, so they have to continuously swim to avoid sinking. Heart is two-chambered, one auricle, one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs such as torpedo. It has an electric organ. So that is, it can give you an electric shock. And some possess a poison sting, trigon. Poison sting, trigon. They are cold-blooded poikilothermos. They lack the capacity to regulate their body temperature. Sexes are separate, dioecious. In males, pelvic bins bear claspers. They have internal fertilization. Many of them are viviparous. Examples: Scoliodon, dogfish; Christus, sawfish; Carcharodon, great white shark; Carcharodon, great white shark; and Trigon, stingray, has a poison sting. These are cartilaginous fishes. Since they have a cartilaginous endoskeleton, they are called as cartilaginous fishes. Then second, these are called as bony fishes. Both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Therefore, they are called as bony fishes. Their body is also streamlined. Mouth is terminal. They have 4 pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum. In that case, operculum was not covered by operculum in osteocetes. In chondrocetes there was no operculum. Here in osteocetes the operculum is also there and air bladder is also there, which regulates buoyancy, so they won't sink if they stop somewhere. Skin is covered with cycloid or ctenoid scales. So chondrocetes, osteocetes. In Agnatha we saw cyclostomata. Heart is two-chambered again. They are cold-blooded again. Poikilothermos. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. In that case, many of them were viviparous. Marine exocetus, also called as flying fish. Hippocampus, seahorse. Freshwater are labios, that is rohu, katla, ketla, both of which we eat. Then clarias, magur. Aquarium, betta, also called as fighting fish. Pterophyllum, angelfish. You can't keep betta with other fishes. It's a fighting fish. Then amphibia. Name indicates amphi, dual, bios life. Amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitat. Most of them have 2 pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into a head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. Amphibian skin is moist without scales. Their eyes have eyelids. Tympanum is present, represents the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber which is called as cloaca. Alimentary canal as well as urinary as well as reproductive tract all open into a common chamber called as cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration is by gills, lungs and through skin. Heart is 3-chambered, 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. Cold-blooded or poikilothermos. Sexes are separate, dioecious. Fertilization is external. Oviparous. Development is indirect. Example: bufo toad, rana frog, hyla tree frog, Ethiopus, limbless amphibia, salamandra, salamander. This is salamander, this is rana frog, hyla tree frog, bufo toad. Chameleon, crocodile, chelone. Reptilia. The pseudo is tortoise. Chelone is turtle. Reptilia. The name refers to their creeping and crawling mode of locomotion. Repere or reptum means to creep or crawl. They are mostly terrestrial animals. Their body is covered by dry and cornified skin, epidermal scales or scutes. They do not have external ear openings. Tympanum represents ear. Limbs, when present, are of two pairs. Heart is three-chambered, but it is four-chambered in crocodiles. The crocodiles are an exception. Reptiles are poikilothermous. Snakes and lizards shed their scale as skin casts. Snakes and lizards shed their scales as skin casts. Sexes are separate, dioecious, fertilization internal, oviparous, and development is direct. In frogs, fertilization was external. You see tadpoles and all, they lay eggs and then they go. Chameleon, tree lizard, calotes, garden lizard, crocodilus, crocodile, alligator, alligator, hemidactylus, wall lizard, poisonous snake, naja, cobra, bungarus, crate, vipera, viper. Testudo is tortoise, Chilone is turtle. Class Aves. Characteristic feature of aves or bird is the presence of feathers. Most of them can fly except for flightless bird ostrich. Possess a beak. Forelimbs are modified to wings. Hind limbs have scales and modified for walking, swimming, clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except for oil gland at the base of the tail. The skin is dry without any glands in aves except for the oil gland which is present at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified or bony. Long bones are hollow with air cavities, that is pneumatic. Digestive tract of birds has additional chambers, crop and gizzard. The digestive, they have crop and gizzard. Then heart is completely four-chambered, warm-blooded, homeothermous. They are homeothermos. Till reptiles, they are poikilothermos or cold-blooded, whereas these are warm-blooded. They can regulate their body temperature. They are homeotherms, just like mammalia. They are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lungs supplement their respiration. Sexes are separate, that is dioecious. Fertilization internal. Oviparous, development is direct. In aves, development is direct. Corvus, crow. Columba, pigeon. Piscitacula, parrot. Struthio, ostrich. Pavo, peacock. Ap Aptenodytes, penguin. Neophron, vulture. Class Mammalia, found in variety of habitat: polar ice caps, deserts, mountain, forest, grassland, dark caves. They have adapted to fly or live in water. Most unique mammalian characteristic is the presence of milk-producing gland, mammary gland, by which the young ones are nourished. Two pairs of limbs adapt for walking, running, swimming, burrowing, climbing. First is Ornithorhynchus, duck-billed platypus, then Macropus, kangaroo. Pteropus, bat. Balanoptera, whale. Another unique is possessing hair. External ears or pinnae are present. Different types of teeth are present in the jaw. Heart is four-chambered. Homeothermos regulate their own blood temperature. Warm-blooded. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. Viviparous with few exceptions. That is ovoviviparous, duck-billed platypus. Development is direct. Oviparous. Ornithorhynchus, that is platypus. Viviparous, Macropus, kangaroo. Pteropus, flying fox. Sorry, that was not a bat, that was flying fox. Camelus, camel. Maca, monkey. Rattus, rat. Canis, dog. Felis, cat. Elephas, elephant. Equus, horse. Delphinus, common dolphin. Balanoptera, blue whale. Balanoptera, blue whale. Panthera tigris, tiger. Panthera leo, lion. Porifera. Porifera are cellular. Uh, they have they are generally asymmetric. They are acoelomates. They do not have segmentation, they do not have digestive system, do not have circulatory system, do not have respiratory system. Distinctive features: they have pores, ostia, water transport or water canal system, and they have spicules or sponge fibers as their skeleton. Then we have a spongiocele central cavity, osculum, through which the water goes out. Through the water canal or water transport system, they can what all can they do? They can do respiration, food gathering, and excretion. Spongilla is the freshwater sponge. Euspongia is bath sponge, and Cycon is also called as Cypha. They both are marine. Then coelenterata or nidaria, tissue level of organization, radially symmetrical. That is, any plane you pass through the central axis, it will divide into two equal halves. Coelom, they are acoelomates, no coelom. Segmentation is absent. Digestive system is incomplete. That is, they only have one opening. Circulatory system absent. Respiratory system absent. Distinctive features in coelenterata or nidaria. That is, they have a central gastrovascular cavity. They have nidocytes or nidoblasts, which have nematocytes, which are stinging cells. The nidocytes or nidoblasts help in anchorage. They help in catching of the prey and help in defense. Then Ctenophora, again tissue level of organization, symmetry, radial. They are exclusively marine. They do not have a coelom. Segmentation is not there. Digestive system again incomplete, only one opening. Circulatory system is not there. Respiratory system is not there. Distinctive features in Ctenophora: they have ciliated comb plates. How many? That is, I guess, 12, right? Sorry, 8. They have 8 external ciliated comb plates which help them in locomotion, and they also show bioluminescence, and they are exclusively marine. Platyhelminthes has organ level of organization firstly seen. Then symmetry, bilaterally symmetrical, coelom is not present, segmentation is not present, digestive system is incomplete, circulatory system not present, respiratory system not present. Distinctive features: it has a flat body and suckers. Dorsoventrally flat, hooks and suckers. Ascalminthus, organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, pseudo-coelomate, that is coelom, mesoderm is present in patches. Segmentation is absent. Digestive system is complete, that is, it has a two different openings for mouth and anus. Circulatory system is absent. Respiratory system is absent. Ascalminthus, that is often worm shaped, that is, it has a Ascalminthus has a circular cross section, elongated, and it has a circular cross section. Therefore, it is called as roundworms. Annelida, organ system level of classification: bilaterally symmetrical, true coelomate. First, true coelom is seen in Annelida. It has true segmentation, external as well as internal. That is, organs repeat in each and every segment. Digestive system is complete, two openings. That is mouth and anus. The circulatory system is present. That is closed circulatory system. Blood flows in arteries, veins, capillaries. Respiratory system is absent. Distinctive feature: body is segmented like rings. Segment. The Latin word for annelida was little rings. Platyhelminthes have flame cells which help them in excretion and osmoregulation, whereas annelida have nephridia which help them in excretion. Then arthropoda, organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, coelomate. Uh, that is, digestive system is complete. So, segmentation is present, external segmentation. Then your respiratory system is also present. Respiration is by lungs or book gills or tracheal respiration. Circulatory system is also present, and it is here of the open type. Here it was of the closed type. Exoskeleton is made up of chitin, that is, chitin is exoskeleton. Jointed appendages are there. Mollusca, organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical. It also has a true coelomate. Then There is no unsegmented body, no segmentation, complete digestive system. A circulatory system is present and it is of the closed type. Respiratory system is also present. That is the feather-like gills help in respiration. It has a visceral hump. Above the visceral hump, there is a soft spongy skin which is called as mantle. Between the mantle and the visceral hump, there is a cavity. This is called as mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present, which help in respiration. And what else? They help in respiration. Distinct head, muscular foot, visceral hump. They help in respiration and excretion. And the anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. Mouth contains a file-like rasping organ which is called as radula. Echinodermata has organ system level of organization. It is radially symmetrical in adult, bilaterally symmetrical in larvae, true coelomates, no segmentation, complete digestive system. Yeah, circulatory system is present. Okay, circulatory system is present. Okay, respiratory system is present. Water vascular system, radially symmetrical, and the mouth is ventral side and anus is on the dorsal side. A hemichordata organ system level of organization, symmetry is bilateral, coelomate. Again, segmentation in hemichordata is absent. Complete digestive system, circulatory system, and is present, and it is of the open type. Then respiratory system is also present. Worm-like with proboscis. They have a proboscis, a collar, and a trunk, and the proboscis helps in excretion. Chordata organ system level of organization, bilateral, symmetrical, coelomate. Only internal segmentation is present. Complete digestive system. Both respiratory and circulatory system is present. Notochord, closed circulatory system is in fact present. Notochord is present. Then dorsal hollow nerve cord is present, pharyngeal gill slits are present, and they have limbs or fins. Done. Comb plates were there in Ctenophora, radula was there in Mollusca, rasping organ, then hair was there in Mammalia, choanocytes were collar cells which lined the spongiocoel and they were present in Porifera. Then your gill slits. Okay, now wait. Operculum. Operculum was present in osteocytes. It was not present in cyclostomata or chondrocytes. Then parapodia was present in Annelida, that is, it helped nereis in locomotion. Then scales are present in reptilia, gill slits are present in cyclostomata or chondrocytes. Segmentation was first observed in which of the following? Annelida. Pneumatic bones, feather. How important is the presence of air bladder in pythons? If air bladder is present, then they won't. That is, air bladder will give them buoyancy, and therefore they won't sink. But if air bladder is absent, such as in chondrocytes, when air bladder is absent, then or chondrocyte or cyclostomata in which air bladder is absent, they will sink. Sorry, chondrocyte, not cyclostomata, chondrocyte, they will sink. So therefore they have to keep continuously swimming. Water vascular system is a characteristic of which group of the following? Water vascular system, not canal system, a echinodermata. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. This is because all the vertebrates, that is vertebrata subphyla, that is they all have a notochord in their embryonic stage, and in their adult stage they have a vertebral column, but that too the notochord is present in remnants, such as in the middle of vertebral column in humans there is nucleus pulposus. So the it is present in remnants, but all chordates are not vertebrates. This is because in Urochordata, Tunicata and Cephalochordata vertebral column is not present. Notochord is only present. Therefore all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Parasitic platyhelminthes, they have hooks and suckers. They can directly, that is tapeworm or tinea, it can directly absorb nutrients through its surface. Intracellular, extracellular, that is inside the cell digestion is happening, intracellular, outside the cell digestion is happening, that is such as in our stomach, it is extracellular digestion. Digestion happens in a cavity, not inside the cells. So extracellular digestion. Direct, indirect development. Indirect development consists of larval stages which are morphologically distinct from the adult. Direct development, that is directly development takes place. That is the adult will be similar to the will be looking similar to the newborn. That is, there is no intermediate stages. Thank you.